All right, it is time to at least introduce another classic Psych 101 topic, Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. So again, this is another one that if you talk to anybody else who's taken a psych class, they've probably been exposed to it. Amongst professionals, it's a little bit more contentious. To what extent is this science? How much is speculation? How much is theory? But I think there's some really good lessons we can draw from Maslow, no matter how, I guess, technical we want to get here. So the basic idea here is that there's a hierarchy of needs, not necessarily a hierarchy in terms of better or worse, but a hierarchy in terms of order that we tend to fulfill them. So at the base level, we've got physiological needs. You got to eat, you got to drink, stuff like that. Above it, we have safety and security, a need to feel safe, a need to feel secure. Then we add belongingness, or some would say love, but connectedness, our need to feel connected with other beings. Above that, we have self-esteem, right? To feel good about our accomplishments and the things that we bring to the world. And then on top of that, we have self-actualization, which is a tough one to define, but essentially it's being the best you or living to your fullest potential. And so, the idea here is if you don't have anything to eat, you don't say, oh, wait, but does anybody love me? You go find some food first, right? Or similarly, if you're in a potentially dangerous situation, if you get yourself in a safe situation before you say, but am I living to my fullest potential? So that's kind of the idea of this hierarchy, that we tend to fulfill these needs in a particular order. And I've left mystery tier number 6 blank. So you can think about, what did Maslow go back and add when he looked at this? What did he think could be an even higher need than self-actualization? You're already living your best life. You're living as your best self. What could be, after that? So give that some thought. Previous classes have had all kinds of wild ideas, including Chipotle, which was my favorite, but spoiler alert, it's not Chipotle. So what could be even higher than self-actualization? That's one question I'd like you to ponder down below. And then my other question for you is, to what extent can we meet these needs financially? Because we live in a capitalist society, and so we're often given very monetary goals in terms of thinking about our futures, thinking about success. But how many of those needs can you buy? Can you buy safety? Can you buy love? Can you buy being the best you? Or to what extent are these subjective? So safety, is that in the world, or is that in your head? Love, is that in the world, or is that in your head? And so to what extent are these needs fulfilled, not by the world, but by our relationship with the world? In other words, I can be around people but feel lonely, right? And I can be by myself and not feel lonely. I can be in a very secure place but feel threatened. I could also be maybe in a very scary place and feel calm. So I wonder if we can purchase these needs, or if it has to do with what's going on in our brain. And to the extent that there is a subjective component here, I think that's really exciting, because it means that the work that we're doing is helping us meet needs wherever we go, regardless of external circumstance. Because if your basic needs are met only through other things, other people, other circumstances, that's very contingent. That's very disturbing. That's also a very kind of anxious place to be in, because you've got to constantly try to protect those things or hope you don't lose those things. So yeah, number 1, what might the mystery higher need be? And then number 2, to what extent can just training our minds help us meet all of these needs? Obviously, probably not physiological needs. That might require some of the external. But beyond that, give that some thought. To what extent is this an external game versus an internal game? And I'll look forward to talking to you more about Maslow and some other nuances here when I see you next week.